I've done it. Mind watching the stream already. Which ways? Oh man, we've got some drivers out already. On the outlet.
So, welcome everybody. Hopefully, you're sitting back, relaxing, and you're going to enjoy this first qualification session. In the booth with me today, I have obviously Jonathan as well as Jeremy. And what we're going to be doing is taking you through the steps and the paces of what's actually happening. This is season 4, guys, and we're going to have some fun, I'm sure. I think lots of people are joining the stream at the moment, and I think maybe Jeremy, Staff Man, as we call him, Staff, he can tell me what's going on there.
Just a general chat at the moment. We've got 10 watching now, which is probably a record for the season.
Brilliant stuff, man. And then as I said, we've got Jonathan also on board with us this evening. He's also in the commentary box. So 3 of us in the box this evening, 1 looking after the stream and basically taking care of the YouTube channel, and then myself and Jonathan will be commentating on the race this evening, and with staff support stepping in as well. Jonathan, over to you.
Evening, Derek. How's it going?
Good, man. We're all good, man.
Round 1.
Round 1. And this time a whole new ball game. It's all about club
Round
championships.
1 in China.
And China.
Absolutely no idea what's going to happen. It's actually a tough one to call. And it's actually going to take a while to get used to who's in what team. I know that the Toro Rossos and the Red Bulls are one team.
Yeah, that's TNB, and that selection happened. It actually happened live, so we did it on the 1st of May. So the guys got down and saw who they were driving for.
Well, first driver to have set a lap times, DW, 1:31.5.
Yeah, we're just on board with him at the moment, just to have a look at how he's doing there. Seems as though it looks as though I just need to put on what tires they've got on, because you know what happens all the time, we sort of tell stories. So let's do that. I've got Ultra Softs on here.
Top 4 drivers have now set lap times ranging from 1:31 to 1:52, so having a few struggles out there, it seems.
Yeah, it doesn't, and the weather looks good anyway, Jonathan. I don't think there's any forecast of rains. First quali session, 12 minutes into the first quali session, so they've got 12 minutes to do something, and the times are flying up, and there's some high times there as well, by the way.
Obviously a full grid of 20 drivers. So you need to get out there, you need to do a lap time. You want to be in the bottom five, otherwise you're not going to go through to Q2.
And there's an old favourite driver. Was he?
Yes, right there at the bottom in number 20, TNB Wazzy. So it's actually making his return from since quite some time. I haven't actually seen him online besides today. And look at that, he goes 3rd.
What an
sure that's a first. I'm pretty sure that's a first attempt in quite some while.
I'm pretty sure as well. Here comes Wazzy back with vengeance. He does have TNB in the name, but he is driving for SAA, which is the South African Academy Online Racing. So it's great to have him in that team. Iceman. He's in the Ferrari, and that is a part of Some Stuff Racing, which is a new club on the horizon. So that's also good news for them. I'm going to put it up on the screen that we can just have a look at who's driving for who, because obviously that's really going to be quite an interesting thing there. Steph, I see there's some commentary on the stream. Do you want a guy by the name of Austin Knight? He's obviously put something up there. I don't know if you want to go through that.
Okay, he's just giving us some background information on China. He says China is a very interesting track with its combinations of hard braking zones, slow speed corners and high speed corners. The trickiest turn is turn 12 before the long back straight. Otherwise, there's a lot of support flying around for the different teams. A couple of guys shouting for Sarko. Actually, most of them sound shouting for Sarko, so they've got quite a bit of support tonight.
Yeah, we need to welcome those soccer boys on. Well, thank you for joining us. Great to have you with us on the stream this evening. They're going to be supporting their team. Wazzy's in fourth. Let's go and look at this gentleman who we also haven't seen for a while, driving for Toro Rosso. And that's TNB West.
Another driver about to set a lap time is Vino Ferreal in the Force India, also a quick driver.
We have to go down and have a look at that.
It's going to go over the line.
Yep, there we go. He's up into ninth.
133.6. Well, for the time being, it really seems like DW's got the edge over the competition. That gap's closed because, as I say, that Nismax goes second. He does a 132 flat, so that gap now 0.4 of a second. And TNB guys, 3 of them make up the top 4.
Yeah, nice time from Gav there. And then just under that is obviously the Alfa Romeo team, which is representing the South African Academy Online Racing there. That's XCI Dan. Then SR, I think he's in the Ferrari, which is Sims Racing. Sim Stuff, should I say? Sim Stuff, not Sims Racing, Sim Stuff. So nicely done.
Windows just noted that Team TNB is all in the top 6. Muna may not be racing tonight, but he has joined us on the stream. Having neck type issues tonight.
Ah, good times. A lot of guys now coming into the pits. Track's quiet.
Yeah, track is quiet. They've
Doesn't
got
look like we
basically
can
8
find-
minutes.
But
Skadonk's on board with Skadonk's. He's in the Ferrari, also racing for Sim Stuff Racing. As I mentioned, a new team started up especially for the F1 League, and it's great to have them on board with us. And just basically a little bit about the format. What we did was we went to the various clubs and said to them, right, you need to provide 4 drivers and let them drive in a competition F1 style, no assists around any way that's also regarding track or anything to do, all assists off. And basically, oh, there we go, Skadonks goes climbing almost into the back of Toki, and I don't think Toki even saw him coming there for a little while there. So he avoided him quite severely there. But as I mentioned, what we did was we took 4 drivers from each club and then put them in a team, in 2 teams, and it's basically the championship of the clubs this season 4. So we'll be watching out who's going to be driving and who's going to be doing what. And it seems it's going to be an exciting one. And this is race number 1. 10 races in this championship. That's all it is, 10 races. And then the guys have to see where they're going to be putting their team. It's the Club Championships of South Africa here on F1. And I can assure you it's going to be an absolute ding-banger to watch. So make sure you're here every Sunday for the next 10 Sundays in a row, because we're going to be counting through and taking you through all of this championship, and obviously giving you something to watch on Sundays at 7 p.m. That's what it's all about. And I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on the who's in which teams. I've got that all set up on the graphics, so we'll be pushing that through, but we'll be doing that a little bit later.
we got DW out on circuit. He's in sector 3, looking to improve on that time, a 1:31.595. And go over the line. Gavin also out on circuit, currently third with a 1:32.3, 8 tenths of a second off the pace. Wazzy also out on circuit, currently in sector 1. With 4.5 minutes remaining on the clock in Q1. The standings so far are Motor DW, Gavpig, Mizmax, but Dan, and then Iceman. That's your top 5. But Wazzy on his return, he's in 6th place. I think he'll be relatively happy with that. Got Weather in 7th, not joining the rest of his TNB teammates at the top. Springbok Gamer 9th, and we've got Marius in 10th.
So let's take you through some of the teams while we're watching what's going on in this first quali session. We basically do have Springbok Gamer. He's heading up the South African Academy Online Racing team, and as you can see, they're going to be racing for Renault. And I think maybe what I should do is actually see if I can just put some of this up, and we can see who's driving for who at the moment. And let me just push that up a little bit, and then we'll well, we can start off with Sarko. How's that? Let's start off with Sarko. So Sarko is got the Haas team as well as the Mercedes-Benz team. So that's being run by Dylan, and Dylan obviously very much involved in F1 since last year. So his rookie status is over and out, and now he's this is his second season, and thanks to the Sarko guys, they've put a team together. And that team consists of Dylan the Sackman, it looks like E.H. Boucher, as well as actually Marius. So Marius is a rookie this season as well, so great to have him on board. And he's up in 5th at the moment, and I think he's racing in the Mercedes-Benz. So there he is. Oh no, he's not. He's actually in the Haas. So he's in the Haas, so welcome to Marius, B70. He's first time here racing at this event, so welcome to the championship as well. Great to see him on board. As you can see, the guys are really pushing these cars through their paces and getting themselves up to speed with actually what's going on at the moment. So as I said, if we look at Sarko, very nice of them to be on board with us. And as I mentioned, they are driving the Haas as well as the Mercedes-Benzes. Next on the line, let's just push this a little bit up as well. And I think it is, let me just get it up. Yep. Let me just take that one off. And let me put that one on, because this is one of the guys that are one of the... Oops, let me push that up a little bit. There we go. So we have TMB. TMB have the Toro Rossos. as well as the Red Bulls, and that is Divot, as well as Gav Pig, Nesmax 7, and then obviously this evening we have T&B Wes. They are involved in those cars this evening, so you can see quite clearly we're going to have some real fun with these guys, and I can tell you now it's going to be an absolute dingbat to watch. If I go down to the Easy Riders, now the Easy Riders I haven't mentioned, but this is a new team as well, and if I can just get them on board as well, I'll let you know exactly what they're racing. There we go. They're going to be racing the pink, formerly known as the
Force India.
say again, Steph?
Force India.
Yeah, the Force Indias, but now they're actually called, I think they're called Racing Point, or Point Racing. Racing Point. So that's their new team name, and also the Williams. So they're going to be pushing themselves this evening on that. And I can tell you now we've got Ronald LaRue. He's in there, and we're just going on board with him quickly. Who else is there that I can see? It's definitely going to be, oh yes, Vino for real. He's in that Force India, currently the Force India car at the moment. And yeah, that's the Force India guys. And then you've got the Williams. The Williams, I am just going to be, I think that's Donovan and the Judge. The Judge. 03. 013. And yep, they're going to be looking after the Williams as well. And then who else have we got? I know that I'm putting on a lot of people at this time, but let's see if we can also see where is these guys. Yep, there they are. Let me just put them up on the screen as well, so you can have a look at them. The Ferraris are being run as well by Sim Stuff Racing, and that's going to be that's team leader. I think there's Toki, and Toki definitely going to be pushing his team to do well in this championship. He's actually in a McLaren, as well as his teammate, who is Thomas, who last season was also a rookie, but did exceptionally well, and really nice to see him back as well. And then the Ferraris, we've got Skudunk and SR Iceman. They are just finalizing that particular team as well. And then we have the last but not the least. Let me have a look where they are. Yes, they're down the bottom here. I'm just going to move them up as well this evening. And that is the team from SAAOLR, which are the Saber as well as the Renault Motorsport guys as well. So just to give you a quick overview of where they are. But before we go any further, let's have a look and see what positions landed up where and who landed up where. So Motor DW right there on top, nice time from him, 131, as well as Gav Pig, 131 as well, so nice time from him. Not too much of a difference there. Nesmax in third position, then Vino for real, then XCI, Dan, he's down in fifth position, Marius in sixth, and then we had SR Iceman in seventh position. And then right after that was Wazi. He was in eighth position. So lots of challenges coming up this evening. We're into quali number 2, and obviously the list gets a little bit smaller. And you can see the guys out there. They'll be out there in the next couple of minutes. I'm going to hand over to Jonathan now, and he can take you pretty much through this session. It's about 14 minutes, just over 14 minutes left in this session.
I'm here. Sorry, I'm here. Sorry, just having a bit of technical problems here. But yeah, here we are at the we're at the start of Q2. So we lost 5 drivers. Just 15 now. Let's have a look who's out on circuit. But the horse of Dylan straight out on circuit. Donk's also out on circuit in the Ferrari. It's an important session, Q2. This is the session that determines the tire you will start the race on. You will start the race with the tire you did your fastest lap on. So already in Q2 you will begin to start to think about that race strategy. You really just need to be in the top 10 for this session.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be pushing for that top 10 position to make sure they're going to be starting as high as possible. And as you mentioned, they're going to be obviously on this particular session, it is the important one because whatever they do their fastest lap on, that's the tires they will be starting on. And at the moment, we've got some ultra softs and then we've got some softs going down. And funny enough that XCI Dan is actually on mediums at the moment. So that's an interesting one there.
He actually did his Q1 on a set of softs. So seems to be using a slower compound for every session.
Nevertheless, let me just mention up on the screen right now, you can see the SAAOLR. This is basically their team, which I did mention, the SAAOLR team, as well as they'll be racing the Reynolds in this season. So watch out for these guys. Obviously, they're going to be wanting to make a huge difference in this team event. So I've basically gone through all the teams and yep, I think almost we'll be looking for those times that are coming through. As we've just mentioned, 15 drivers on the track right now, and this is going to be wilted down to quali number 3 to 10 drivers.
But was he out on circuit? I think he was one of your first drivers to leave the pits. Probably be one of the first cars to go over the line. Toro Rosso off circuit there. No times just yet. 11 minutes remain on the clock. Let's have a look who else is out on circuit. Motor DW. He's out on circuit. He's on a warm-up lap. As he now goes through the final corner onto the start-finish straight. Let's see what sort of benchmark can be set. It's a 1:32.7. I think that's a bit quicker than his lap time in Q1, if I'm not mistaken. Dylan goes over the line in second. That's a 1:37.3. Let's have a look who else is out on circuit, who's coming over the line next. But Ronald, he goes over the line, he goes second, 1:35.3. Still a big gap between first and second. But TNB Wes leaving the pits. Winner for real. Seems to be on a warm-up lap, warming up his tyres. Nothing from Springbok Gamer, still in the pits. E-Voucher in the Merc. He goes second. 1:34.5. Where is Moto DW? Had the fastest lap in Q1. Hasn't set a lap time as of yet in Q2. He's on a set of softs, but not the fastest compound. Runs a bit wide there on the exit. He'll go over the line and he'll go second. And I wonder if just that running wide there just before the main straight. I wonder if that was enough. That made the difference. They'll definitely come up. I don't think he will come up for a second run. They're all on softs. Probably don't want to start on the ultra soft. Probably not a tire that lasts very long. So 132, I think they'll be comfortable with that. Probably won't see them out on circuit again till Q3. Let's have a look who's not on. Gavin yet to set a time, locking up in the hairpin.
Steph, any news for us on the stream at the moment?
Nope, it's pretty quiet right now. There's 16 watching, was up to 18 just now. It's just Muna asking if there's any weather updates. Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I can tell you now. It looks a little bit overcast, I must say. So hopefully somebody can give us some news about.
Have the drivers not said anything on WhatsApp?
No, I think maybe just ask Springbok Gamer. Maybe he can give us some feedback in the pits of actually what's going on.
Well, actually just riding on board with the Red Bull of Gavpig, not having a good time at all, down in 13th place, hasn't set a lap time as of yet. Was trying to put a fast lap together there and landed up in the Armco in Sector 2. Seems to have got it going again. Can't see any damage. But he's going to have to start all over again. Okay, so with 7 minutes remaining on the clock, Wazzy is still your leader. He's got a 132.7. Moto DW is second, a 133.1. Followed by Iceman in the Ferrari, 133.7. Vino in fourth, 133.8. Ronald fifth, 133.9. So nothing in it from third to fifth. Boucher in sixth, Kadonks seventh, Dylan eighth, and Gavpig. Well, not sure what. That's a 156. Yet to set a lap time is still TNB Wes, Springbok Gamer, TNB Wezer, Marius and Dan. Yet to set lap times. And Gavin's in 10th there, but that's a 1 minute 56. He's going to have to do another lap. The TNB Wezer in the Salva. He's out on circuit now in sector 3, yet to set a lap time. He'll be looking to break into that top 10. So that he can go through to Q3. This will probably knock Gavin out of the top 10. Goes over the line now. And he goes 7th. Nicely done. Springbok Gamer also out on a warm-up lap. Yet to put a lap time down for Q2. And also Marius. So just TNB Wes and Dan. Yet to set a lap time and still sitting in the pits. No movement from either driver as of yet. All of your top 5 sitting in the pits. I tell you, Gavin has improved on that lap time. He's gone 60. He's got a 133.9. So that will safely send him through to Q3, I presume. Have a look, Springbok Gamer, he's in sector 2 now of what I believe is a fast lap, yet to set a lap time. Want to get that Renault up into the top 10. His teammate currently sitting on provisional pole. Was he on his return? 1:32.7, the time to beat. Springbok Gamer now heads down the back straight here in China. It's a difficult, slow, long right-hander, and if you get it wrong, the traction means you'll never get to the speeds you're supposed to down the straight. Turns in nicely, touches the apex. Let's see as he goes over the line, can he get into the top 10? Gonna have to do a 1:34.6, and he goes 11th, 1:34.9.
Weather reports coming in from the channel. Ronald and Vet both said it will be dry for the race.
Also dry conditions for the race.
That's good news. That is definitely good news. Dry race.
Definitely don't want to confuse that turn 1 any more than you need to. Dan is on an outlap. Doesn't set a time as of yet. He's left this for the very last moments.
2 minutes left. So he's cutting it really fine.
If he makes any sort of mistake, he's probably not going to get a second go at it. And he's chosen to go out on a set of mediums. So
Anyone see the reason for Dylan's disqualification?
I didn't.
No idea at the moment.
A few guys now are just retiring from the session. Obviously happy with the lap times. TNB Wes has not set a lap time. Still sitting in the pits. Obviously he's sitting this one out. Not going to be enough time to get out there now. Just a 1 minute 10 remaining on the clock.
Okay, apparently Dylan was disqualified for going the wrong way.
We're going the wrong way.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit finicky.
You disqualified.
Yeah.
He tried to get back to the pits. He was backwards on the main straight, trying to get back to the pits.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So actually we had TNB Weather in the Alpha, in the Alpha, excuse me. He's gone second with a 1:33.0 at the end of that session. So good lap time. Seems like everyone did it on a set of softs.
Yeah, I'm on board with XCI Dan. He's come through. He's in 5th position. So he's pushed a 1:33.608. And very nicely done on those mediums. I think that's quite a difficult task that he's pushed himself up into 5th position now. And that's it, guys. The session is now over. Around about 2 minutes and 51 seconds to go. And then we go into quali number 3. And then we're going to see who is going to be in pole position here at the Chinese Grand Prix here in Shanghai. A little bit of misuseful information, if I could put it that way. This particular circuit, I think, cost in the region of about $100 billion to build. 16 turns, and I think it's round about actually, why don't I do that? Let's see if we can just have a look at the track itself as we're going down. We can see already the guys that have done the quali session. That is Wazzy. He's done a 132. TNP Weza, he's done a 133. And then you've got the likes of David in 133 and Nesmax in 133. So some really close racing going on. And I can tell you now, what an absolute thrill it has been. So let's see if we can just go across and see a little bit about this track. Hopefully it's going to give us some information.
Here's a fact you probably wouldn't have guessed about China. Who's got the fastest lap in China?
Let's see if the guys on the stream can tell us.
Pierre Gasly, a 134.7.
You've already given it.
I can ask more. Fastest lap in China is a 1 minute 34.7 by Pierre Gasly.
There we go. So, do you want to just run through that lineup quickly?
Sure, right. So your top 10, you've got obviously Wazzy in first place on his return. Got Weza in second, creeping in there at the end. Moto DW in third, Nismax fourth. Dan in fifth on a set of mediums. Nicely done. Iceman sixth, Vino seventh, Gavin eighth, Ronald ninth, and then Marius in 10th. Means we're losing Boucher, Kadonks, Springbok Gamer, Wes and Dylan.
So as I mentioned, just going onto the track right now. Let's have a quick look at this track. So as I mentioned, $100 billion for this particular section. There we go. It's a 5.4 kilometer track. It's got 2 DRS zones. Obviously, the guys will be looking at making sure they have the lowest possible downforce for this track here in Shanghai. And I can tell you now, it's going to be an absolute screamer. The guys are going out onto the track. We'll be with them in a couple of seconds. Let's see them as they move along. We've got Vino for real. We've got Ronald. We've got TMB Weza. We've got Marius. We've got XCI Dan. We've got Gav Pig. We've got the Iceman. Nesmax. We've got Wazzy and we've got David, all going to see who's going to be in pole position this evening. Currently on track at the moment, we are with Ronald LaRue. He is driving in that Force India, the BWT car, pink, formerly known as Force India, in future known as Race Point. And that's a British team out of the UK that have taken over, and I can tell you now it's going to be exciting. A lot of guys are asking, when are we moving over to 2019? Well, probably at the end of the 10 races, I think is the target line, and that's when it's actually just going to be released as well. And I don't know if you've seen some footage of that absolute new 2019 gameplay. I did have a sneak preview, and wow, it looks absolutely phenomenal.
No, I've had a lot of look at the footage, so really quite obsessed with it. I can't wait for it. It looks good. It looks good, and just hope they don't. I'm glad that they're adding a lot of stuff. I just hope that everything works. But from what I've seen, I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I think maybe
it's be on what, the 22nd of June, 23rd of June, something like that.
Round about there. I think Steph's actually got more information on that as well. Steph, you with me?
I'm here, I'm just having a look for you, just the exact date.
There we go.
It's the 22nd. Well, mine is pre-ordered.
There we go. Already pre-ordered, so that's good news.
Mine is pre-ordered, and so is my MotoGP 16. That's coming slightly earlier. That's coming on the 6th of June.
Oh, we do have Ronald's off the track, by the way, and he's just been passed, I think, by his teammate at this point in time. And there's Wezza. Wezza's in third at the moment. No times as yet, but I'm sure we've got sort of 8 minutes to go. So a lot of people holding back. And let's see where they're going to be ending up this evening. I think what we should do is just have a look at what sort of tires they've got fitted. All on ultra softs at the moment, so that's interesting. They're going to be pushing this evening. There we go. First times are up. And look how close that is. Guys, look how close that is. That unbelievable times there in the 1 minute 31s.
That's 1/100th of a second between the two. Nothing in it. Obviously now everybody out on ultras in Q3 because Q3 is all about the fastest lap time. You're not worried about tire degradation. You just need those tires to hold together for a couple of laps. Everyone will be out on the purple. And look at that, Dan now 130.7. He's half a second clear. He qualified on soft in Q1, qualified on mediums in Q2, and now that he's put the fast rubber on, he's showing some serious pace.
Okay, and also just remember an additional point for that individual that gets the fastest lap time of the race. That is in play for this evening's event. That's an additional points handed over to the fastest lap time.
So Marius now starting a fast lap. Obviously he abandoned that one. That's a 156. Dan still your pole sitter, 130.7. He's followed by Moto DW 131.2. It's going to have to find half a second. TNB Wazzy sounds exactly the same, 131.2. It's going to have to find half a second. Then you've got Wezza in fourth, Nismax fifth. Actually a second adrift of your pole sitter. Iceman sixth, Gavin seventh. 2 Force Indias, Ronald and Vino 8th and 9th. And then Marius making up the top 10.
Yeah, let's see if number 70, the Haas number 70, can come back in a big way. And let's see where he's going to end up, if he can do it. I mean, we've got basically 5 minutes left of this session. He can still put in a quick time. And I think let's not fool ourselves. I think he did very well. He's coming down the long straight, obviously, into there's the 150, then into the 100-meter board. Here comes through on the YouTube, almost U-turn, a little bit off there, but he's going to come through now on corner number 16 and see if he can push his way through and see. And there he goes up into 8th position, 132.177. And I mean, there's not really a big difference between all these drivers at the moment. Some really fantastic times on all of these guys at the moment. They've done some really quick times, so that's good to see. 130s right through to 133. So it's basically 3 seconds between number 1 position and number 10 position. Only 3 seconds. I know 3 seconds is a lot in this type of racing format, but really it is actually not that bad at all. So we're going to be seeing how these guys put it together. Obviously, as I mentioned, they need maximum downforce, and obviously what they want to do is they want to get themselves into the high speed levels down that straight coming down into turn number 14, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually got Gavin down in 7th place. He's come out, he's on an out lap, so he's going to be one of the first guys to have a second run. Top 5 drivers still sitting in the pits, so they're going to wait a little bit later to have that second run.
Yeah, I reckon probably they'll be going out on just I would say probably 2 minutes left, just maybe 2 minutes 15, 2 minutes 20. There's Wazzy, he's coming out now. He's also going to be out. We're with Gav at the moment. There was a little bit of a car there, so hopefully that hasn't interrupted his attempt. So we've got Iceman also on an outer lap there. Jonathan, it seems as though Iceman is also out. So we got two guys now, Wazzy as well as Iceman out there.
Yes, you got Wazzy, Iceman, Ronald, all on outlaps. I was just about to say Gavin's on a fast lap, but as we join him, he's going through the gravel. So he's obviously going to abandon this one. You know, coming out of the pits. Iceman goes over the line. He's going to start his fast lap now. Currently in 6th with a 1:32.0. Just needs to find that little bit. He can break into the 1:31s. Break into that top 5. Liz Max is currently 5th. Still sitting in the pits. 2 minutes 15 remaining. And your pole sitter, Dan, also in the pits. Have a look now, Gavin goes over the line, that's a 1:42. Maybe having one more run. Can't confirm exactly what happened there. I was flicking through the cars and I got to Gavin in the Red Bull, and I hope it's not what it looked like, but seems like the two Red Bulls impeded each other on their fast laps. They sort of just seems like they sort of got in each other's way, and yeah. Can't see any advantage in that.
Sort of mirroring real life there. Two Red Bulls in each other's way.
Still got 30 seconds on the clock. They're going down the back straight, so if they can get over the line, they can have one more go at it. Red Bull's currently sitting 5th and 7th.
And see, Wazzy made it in time, so it looks as though he's going to try and get himself, maybe try and make a difference between himself and David and Dan at the moment. So
Okay.
let's have a look at seeing what's going on there.
Two Red Bulls do get over the line. The one gets over the line with 7 seconds remaining, the next gets over the line with 5 seconds remaining, so there's nothing in it. Let's hope they don't impede each other again. Seem to have a fair gap between them.
Okay, so I've got Wazzy at the moment. I'm on board with him at the moment, just to see how he's going to pan out. Can he make a difference on that time? That's where he's going to try and squeeze in that car number 95, that Renault. 96 should I say. DRS is on and he's flying down that back straight. Nicely done there, very nicely done. He's going to pull himself around, a little bit of a slide. Can he push himself through? Pretty close there on the curb. Does he change the time?
He goes second.
And
nice.
he does. He goes second.
132. That's a 130.747. That's 200ths of a second off pole. Nothing in it. And the Red Bulls just getting in each other's way again. Nismax will go over the line. Let's see if he can improve. Currently sixth. He does improve. It's a 130.9. He'll go third. But Gavin wasn't able to improve. He's going to be starting from 8th. Not the best qualifying session for him. Saw him mess up a fast lap going through the gravel. And on his second attempt,
Oh!
got in his teammate's way. And you're watching some AI amazing driving.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but it was absolutely unbelievable. Right up the rear.
But by the response, I thought that was it. I've seen it a few times.
Unbelievable, really.
So, just waiting for Marius to retire from the session, and there we go.
So it is now definitely all go, and as you can see right now, we're just setting up for this race and the beginning of season 4. This is the Club Championships of South Africa. As mentioned, we have some really exceptional drivers on the grid this evening. We've got I don't know if you want to go through that qualification
just your top 10 there. First place obviously going to Dan with that 1 minute 30.5, followed by Wazzy second, Nismax in third, Moto DW fourth, TNB Weather fifth, Villarreal sixth, Iceman seventh, Gavin eighth, Marius ninth, and then Ronald just managing to get a lap time in there. Doesn't seem like he actually got a fast lap time, because that was a 1:53. So I think he obviously just had the one run and made a mistake.
Some news on the team radio, and Nismax thanking Gavin for the slipstream in that last round.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Teammates talking to one another as well. So, we're all back now on the grid. Everybody's going to be prepped up and getting themselves out on the track. It's a great start to season 4. We have a full grid available, and obviously we have some racing to watch, and I can assure you it's going to be absolutely nail-biting to watch this, and lots and lots of funs and happenings going to be taking place, and we're keen to see who's going to be this week's champion here in China. And I can tell you what, I think it's going to be an absolute banger. There's going to be some close racing. We've got great weather conditions at the moment around this 5.4 kilometer track, and it's going to be all done. Formation lap is up, so that's just going to give them an opportunity to drive themselves around the track, make sure they get those tires nice and warmed up. Hopefully we're going to have no incidents going through there. Car number 71 is XCI Dan. Weza in second position, Nesmax in third, De Wit in fourth, and then Weza in fifth position. Nice drive from Vino for real there. He's in sixth, and then Iceman in seventh, and then Gav in 8th, Marius in 9th, Rold in 10th, and then we've got Boucher in 11th, we've got Skedonks in 12th, Springbok Gamer, he is in 13th position. Looks like TNB Wes is being disqualified. Obviously there was an altercation from in the formation lap. Hopefully he's going to start off there. We've got Dylan, we've got Talkies, we've got the Sackman, we've got Devon, then Judge, and then last but not least, we've got Thomas down in 20th position. So guys, this is going to be an absolute fantastic start to watch. They've got to watch turn 1, but you can see them screaming down the straight there, just really making sure they get those tires nice and warmed up at the moment, and we're going to see it all happening from the start.
Ibaucha just turning into turn 1 now, so he had some altercations on that start finish line. Only getting through turn 3 at the moment, so he had to get going again. He's 14 seconds adrift. And have a look at the battle for third at the moment. You've got TNB Weather. He's defending from Moto DW. As I speak, they go side by side down the straight. Wes does have the inside. And Moto DW, well, not sure if he just lost a lot of positions or if something happened to my timing screen. Moto DW down to 8th.
Yeah, I've got both of them, Iceman and DW, on the screen at the moment, just having a look what actually happened there. And it looks as though they went a little bit wayward. So that was interesting. Vino just up in 5th position. Gav Pig up in 4th. And I can tell you now, coming down the straight section here into the left-hander, we are on board with Gav Pig, who's in 4th position. Up to 3rd now is Weza at the moment. He's taking a long look around what's actually happening there. So it looks as though we've had somebody move up. I think it was, oh yes, it's Iceman and Vina for real, having a little bit of a, here we go, right here. You can see that Ferrari's coming in the inside, looking to get past Vina for real, which he does. It looks like as well as De Wit now backing off a little bit because he's on the outside. He's going to pull in. And yes, he's done it. He's actually, oh no, he hasn't. He's gone back just behind Vino for real at the moment. So it all looks a little bit tight in this middle section here between 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment. And I can tell you now, some exciting racing going on between these guys out down in these positions. At the moment, currently, Marius is in 10th. We've got Boucher in 9th. And then Sackman in 11th. Toki is in 12th. Thomas is in 13th position. Weza down to 17th at the moment. So we'll see how that's going to pan out, because he had a fantastic go of actually ending up on 2nd position on the grid at the moment. Don't know what the altercation was there, but let's see if he can come back in a big way. On board with Vino for real. Just in front of him is Iceman. He's looking to go tight on him there, but still manages to get through. Here they come through, start and finish.
This race. Okay, my timing sheet went crazy. I should take a picture of this. Okay, you can't trust anything I say regarding times. My timing sheet is a mess.
Look at that.
That's the fastest lap of the race, a 1:35.8. He's coming through the field.
Oh, somebody is off there. It looks as though it's Dan. Dan obviously very unfortunate there. And he's going way down. He's off the track at the moment. He's going to come on back onto the track. But there was definitely a little bit of an altercation between him. Nesmax goes into 1st place there. And then just behind him is Weza at the moment. So, wow. Big changes happening here.
Dan manages to get going again, but it's in 9th place. So, lost a lot of positions. Nesmax now leads this race by 1.7 seconds from TNB Wes. And that's obviously promoted the Gav Pig up to 3rd. Good result for Red Bull so far. The Team TNB. But,
absolutely, 2 in 1st position and 3rd.
There are the Toro Rossos, 6th and 12th. Fortunately, on my screen, I can't really watch Weza. His car is jumping violently on my screen, so I don't know if that's him having lag issues.
No, he's fine on mine, Jonathan. He's absolutely steady as anything on mine.
The Toro Rosso in 12th place. Check the Toro Rosso in 11th place, TNB Wes, and ride on board with him.
Alright, I think I'm going to go on board with him now.
And then you'll see what I mean.
Yeah, he seems pretty smooth to me.
Yeah, that's funny. On my screen, he's very, very jumpy. And he's actually jumping around on the timing screen a bit. That's why I say I can't trust my times very much. Well, Nesmax does lead the race now on lap 5. Still from Weza and Gav. That's still your top 3. What happened to Dan? Dan is down in 8th, so he has been able to make up 1 position. And he's now 5.2 seconds down the road from Ronald. Needs to catch up to the whole train of cars in front of him before he can start making those positions up again.
Nice to see DW come up right up to 5th position now. So he's clawing his way back as well. He's got Iceman just in front of him. The gap between them is not that great at all. I mean, it's 0.947 seconds now, 0.81, and he seems to be catching Iceman nicely there. Maybe go on board with DeVet at the moment. DeVet, should I say, and let's see where he's going to be ending up. He's pushing down to 100 mark, goes into the left-hander, is going to come into a really deep right-hander now. He may have the ability just to get beyond him if he can keep up with him now to get that DRS working. Here they come into the DRS zone. Was he able to activate it, or was he? No, he's still. He actually increased that. Here it comes now down into this big U, and Iceman still managing to keep him abreast at the moment in 4th position. Nesmax leading this race, lap number 7, followed by Weza at the moment, so he's going to be happy with himself in that 2nd spot, racing for the South African Academy Online Racing. Nesmax racing for TNB, the team TNB, and then you've got Iceman. Iceman is racing for Sim Stuff Racing, so he's in the Ferrari, so he's doing good there. And then you've got the Easy Riders in 6th position. That's with Vino for real. And in 7th position is also the Easy Riders. So they're actually doing quite nicely there. But as I mentioned there, you've got Nesmax and Gav Pig from TNB up in the top 3. So great driving from them at the moment. And let's see what's going to happen there. Then going down a little bit, you've got the guys from SAAOLR, you've got Boucher, you've got in 10th position, you've got Marius, and then in 11th position, you have the Sackman. So that's where the SAAOLR drivers are at the moment. Sorry, Jonathan, say again?
Session no longer exists. I knew there was something wrong when my time started jumping up and down. Gonna try and join again.
Hopefully you can join on me.
I'm just going to. I do have a few invites, and I can try and join on you.
All right.
I'm just gonna mute, and you carry on.
No problem. This is all the technical challenges that we have when we try and bring you this type of racing. Obviously, as the commentary team, sometimes we get kicked out, and we have to gather our way back into this event here. Steph, obviously taking care of our channel this evening. How has the participation been there?
Pretty quiet up to now. Still 17 watching us live.
That's great, guys. Come on, give us some comments. If you're following the racing, who do you think is going to win? It's still 8 laps of 28 laps, so 20 laps to go. Hopefully we're going to see some more excitement taking place. I'm on board with DeVet at the moment just to see what he's doing with Iceman, but he's sort of holding him off nicely there. Gav Pig is way out there. He's still quite far behind this gentleman who's Weza at the moment. Then we've got Nesmax who's leading this race at the moment. He's basically 3 seconds ahead. Unfortunately, it looks like Wes is out of this race, so that's a TNB driver out of this championship at the moment. Let's go down just a little bit more and see where here is XCI Dan at the moment. He's got Ronald LaRue in front of him at the moment. Here we go. Here's Mr. Boucher from SAAOLR Racing at the moment in that Haas. Doing quite nicely at the moment. He's got a number of drivers in front of him. Is he going to be able to just keep it in line there? Nice driving from him. No issues there. He's got Marius behind him. Quite a way off at the moment. 8 seconds. So it looks as though Hugh, it's actually Hugh Boucher, but Hugh is doing quite nicely here, getting his way through this crowd. And is he going to be able to do something with these guys in front of it? China, very fast track, nice and slick. Everything's going around and around, and he's got to keep it in tight here, normally quite, and then all of a sudden just apply a little bit of brakes around this U-bend here and keep it tight, and then flash it out and see if he can try and catch up on XCI Dan at the moment. So you can see the levels are not that bad. Let me just go out of the car. You can actually have a look at where he is currently sitting at the moment. Nicely, there we go. Some messages coming through of actually what's going on and what's happening at the moment. We've got 3 guys. Vino for real off the track there. I saw that. He's obviously off the track at the moment, so we need to see what happened there. But he seems to be pushing his way back and trying to get himself in line at the moment. He's got Marius coming up on his tail quite fast there. So this could be an opportunity for Marius to see if he can get himself in to that 9th position. Marius is in with the points at the moment, so that's good news for the SAAOLR team at the moment. Here we go. Here comes now into the pits a quick tire change and also a nose cone change for, it looks like it's David at the moment. He's put on the mediums. It looks like the mediums, and we need to obviously just confirm that at the moment, because that's going to tell me exactly what's going on. So yes, it is the mediums for David at the moment. So he's coming in there. He's dropped back down to 11th position, and I'm sure he's going to want to be pushing himself up at the moment. Wazzy is right behind him at the moment. Is Wazzy going to take the challenge to get himself alongside David at the moment and obviously push his way past? It looks as though he does quite nicely. Well taken at the moment, and he pushes himself up to 11th position now. So we'll see exactly what's going on. Remember, they are David is on the mediums, so he's going to be slightly slower, because obviously Wazzy's on the softs at the moment. Vino for real up in 8th position at the moment. There we go. Hugh Boucher coming down that long straight. Still got these in. It looks as though he's looking for that opportunity to come through there. And yes, does he do it? He pushes now to try and get past, but obviously Ronald keeping himself at bay there, and obviously watching himself take care. Gav Pigs gone into the pits. Here comes the mediums on. No nose code change. It is quite a fast pit stop, so he's off and away at the moment. Yes, he has dropped slightly down the list there. He's now in 8th position, so a lot of changes taking place, and obviously he's going to want himself to be in that spot at the moment. So guys, if you're watching the stream, who do you think is going to finish off this race? Who's going to be probably looked at as the overall team that's going to win this evening? Who do you think it's going to be? Are you rooting for your particular club this evening? Let us know on the stream who you're rooting out for, and let's see who's going to be in the final results at the moment. We're on with the Mercedes-Benz at the moment, and you can see it's Marius with the SAAOLR boys at the moment. He's looking to push himself past that driver in that Force India car and get himself, that's one of the easy drivers at the moment, to see if they can get himself up into that position there. I just want to go back and see where we are, and obviously give you an indication. There is a South African Academy Online Racing driver. He's looking, yes, it is Dan at the moment, so he dropped back severely after an incident at the moment. There you can see one of the easy drivers going in and obviously putting himself in the pits. There he comes out quite nicely. A very quick pit stop there. No issues with any damage on the car. So he's pushed himself now getting out into the mainstream of things at the moment. So yeah, nicely done from them regarding that. So let's give you an indication of what's going on. Yes, there has been a number of changes at the moment. leading this race at the moment now currently is XCI Dan. Then nice to see Boucher gone up into that second position. Is he going to be able to take care? They're both on 11 laps on their tires at the moment, so it is going to get a bit hair-raising for them. Fourth position now is Wezza. Then you've got Gav Pig in fifth at the moment, slightly off the pace there. He's about 5 seconds off the pace there. And then down to the gentleman that has 10 laps on those softs at the moment. It looks as though, yes, we do have DW looking to in 8th position. The Sackman is in 9th. Ronald's in 10th. And it looks like Toki's in 11th position. So nice driving happening between these guys and the clubs at the moment. There we are on board with the Italian Stallion car of Iceman himself. He's in 6th position. And you can see how close Wazzy is behind him there, looking for that opportunity still to get by Iceman at the moment. Boucher has just been overtaken by Gav Pig, so it looks as though because Boucher is in the pits, so he's making that change now. So he's going to have a couple of flyers coming past him. He needs to get that car out on the track at the moment.
News coming in from Dylan. He says it's probably due to a lag bubble, but Springbok Gamer suddenly stopped in front of him and resulting in this crash.
Thanks for that information, Steph. Do appreciate it. So the question is now, Dan is on 12 laps on those mediums. He doesn't have much time. He's got obviously strategy going at him. He's just gone through a back marker at the moment, which I think is Devon in the Williams. One of the Easy Rider drivers, number 12 in 12th position there is Judge himself. He's also on 12 laps on those softs at the moment, pushing them as much as he can. Looks like Wes has just gone into the pits. Is he going to drop down? We'll have to have a wait and see there, but I'm sure he's going to be wanting to get out of that pit as soon as possible. Let's see what is actually happening there. They are taking their time for some incident. I don't know what's going on here. It looks as though there was a little bit of time being held back on that car at the moment, but he is coming out of the pits as we speak. So is there anybody coming down the straight at the moment? He seems to have got clean, but he is in 10th position. So obviously Boucher as well as Vina for real did go past. Oh, that's the problem when you've got new tires. You can't keep it on the track for very much longer. You've got to warm up those tires to keep things going. So yeah, let's go back up to Dan at the moment. We got Nesmax not too far away from Dan at the moment. We're on lap number 14. There is a little bit of an incident in sector 3. Not too sure who it is, but let's see what's happening.
Looked almost like Wazzy had a 5-second off go penalty there.
Ah, so that's the reason why. Some more information given to us by staff at the moment. Thanks for that, Jeremy. Always good to hear what's going on there. Now Nesmax goes into that top position. Dan has gone down into 4th position at the moment. He's just had a tire change, so let's see where he's going to end up at the moment. Then we've got Weza. He's in 2nd position. Gav in 3rd at the moment. Is this going to be the final 4? And then you've got Devet. He's in 5th position. Devet's in 5th position. Iceman in 6th. And Ronald LaRue, he's in 7th position. Hugh Boucher, he's in 8th. Then we got Vino for real. And then Wazzy in 10th. Sackman there afterwards. Skadonks in 12th. And I can tell you now, Marius in 13th. 14th position, Springbok Gamer. And then we've got Tokis, 76. He is down in 15th. We've got Judge in the Judge in 16th position, Thomas. And then 18th we have Devon, and he seems to be holding back a little bit. He's 10 laps on those tires. Is he going to pull in and get some fresh ones on as soon as possible? Nesmax in lap number 16. We're on board with him at the moment. He's in the Red Bull. Seems to be handling it very, very nicely at the moment. Great driving by all of these guys at the moment. Really nicely done. There we go. Gav Pig holding that 3rd spot, sort of embedding himself into making that his own there at the moment. Let's put on some telemetrics so we can see what's going on there. Let's put on some lap data so we can pick up on what they're sort of doing on the times at the moment, so you can see exactly where they're ending up on this track, and obviously giving you some times going forward. So there we go, on with the Red Bull. Nesmax coming through to lap number 17, beginning of. Gav Pig's got a 5-second stop go for corner cutting. So that's going to really affect the whole layout now of this event. There we go. Now Dan puts on the fastest lap time. So if that stays, he's going to be currently getting that additional point in this championship for his team. So lap 17, Nesmax holding it nicely there. Let's go down to Wazzy at the moment. Gav Pig. Now we've got Dan at the moment. There is David. He's David, sorry. Oh, I'm losing it. That's why I normally have additional guys in the room with me. And it looks as though Iceman in the Ferrari taking it really easy. Number 87. He's done 5 laps on those mediums. There we have Ronald LaRue in the Force India, racing for the Easy Riders at the moment, taking it the next step. Here we go. Here's the soccer driver Hugh Boucher at the moment, looking to see if he can pick up on Ronald at the moment. Then we have Vino for real, also the easy driver. Another quick time from XCI Dan. Very nicely done from his side. Then we have Wazzy. He's in 10th position at the moment. And then we have Dylan, who's just joined the party. So great to have you on board with us, Dylan.
Savvy, how's it?
All right, man. How's things going?
Not a great start for me at all. Really thought that I had enough space to get around Ati, then unfortunately the car just stopped on me and I ended up going straight through him.
Hard lines there, man. Are you able to spectate or not?
I am, yes. I'm still watching my guys going around, so I can definitely see what's happening.
Great, man. You can join me in doing some commentary at the moment then.
Not a problem at all.
Oh, Gav Pig looks to be out of this race, guys. Here we go. Some more drama here in Shanghai at the moment. It looks as though, I don't know what happened, but he's definitely gone. And that's the problem. You know, one little loose corner, one little miss concentration, and that's it for you. So Gav Pig seems to be retired, unfortunately. So TNB, another TNB driver out of this race now. So there's only 2 TNB drivers left at the moment. Dan puts on another quick time at the moment. That's 3 in a row on his lap times now that he's obviously set the fastest times. This shuffles things around dramatically because now Nesmax is sitting now in first position. Then you've got 2 of the South African Academy drivers there and 2 of the TNB drivers. Then in 6th position you have the Saga driver who is Hugh Boucher. Nicely done from him this evening. Really started racing with this particular group last year, towards the end of last year. Has been pretty formidable for him at the moment. This is his rookie season with this particular format with us. So he's doing quite nicely at the moment for himself. Marius down in 11th position, Sackman. So still a number of Saga drivers that are in here. Oh yes, there we go. Marius moves up into 10th position. So he is in the points. Unfortunately, Sackman down 1 position. Springbok Game is in 11th position. And Sackman drops now down another position into 12th. So we have between him at the moment, we have Springbok Gamer in the Renault, and then obviously Marius in 10th position. Wasi at the moment in the other Renault. He seems to have done quite nicely, and there Dan puts on another time, another quick lap. So really he is creaming it this evening here at the moment. So 8 laps left in this championship here in Shanghai at the Chinese GP, and this is, as I said, season 4, the Club Championships of South Africa, and it's great to have you with us if you are watching the live stream. I do have with me Dylan, and he's obviously from the Sarko team. He had a bit of an altercation and obviously left him out of the rest of the race, so great to have him in the commentary box with me at the moment as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sevi. Actually just came onto the Sackman screen, and I think he might have got a bit of wing damage because I saw him going through that long left-hander, and he was definitely not on the pace there, so I think he might be nursing some damage.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've just seen absolutely quite a screamer happening down with Wazzy at the moment. He's just had Vino for real go past him, and I'm sure he's going to be unhappy about that. So let's see what he does. Vino for real a little bit wide, and looks as though he's keeping Wazzy at bay. So that's going to be an interesting to watch as well.
So the guys that I'm now just having a look at is I just see that gap is close to just under 3 seconds. Is Ronald starting to catch up to my teammate Hugh? So I'm not sure whether Hugh's just starting to just save some tires, but he's definitely not pushing as much as he was earlier on in this race.
Yeah, the Hugh's got 7 laps on those tires at the moment there, Dylan. So I'm wondering what he's going to be doing, because let me tell you, Ronald's actually got 9 laps on those tires. So, I mean, there's not much difference. There is a 3-second penalty that I've just seen being awarded to Vino for real. So let's see what happens there now, because that's going to put Marius probably up into ninth. No, it's not, because he's 23 seconds, 22 seconds behind at the moment.
Yep, correct. But what's going to start getting interesting is that Vina Farrell is now within a second of Wazzy. So he should be able to get that DRS assistance going down that back straight.
Well, I've just switched over now, and let's see if that's going to happen, because he seems to have been pushing it now. I think Wazzy is quite aware of who's behind him at the moment. So it's going to happen now. Here's that. Oh, no, not this section. I'm just
so
looking.
Saw those pieces on the right hand side of the track there. That's from my car.
Oh, goodness gracious me. All right, here we go. Let's see if it happens, because this is, if there's anything that's going to happen, it's going to happen right now. So Vino for real, he's lost it though. He's now 2 seconds behind.
If you actually go up to Wazzy, you can see that he's actually got the DRS open, got into the slipstream of Ronald, and now they're side by side. Coming into the braking zone. Great overtake there by Wazzy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ronald had to give that place because the inside line was definitely held up there by Wazzy.
Yeah, Wazzy now fighting back. He did start off in second position on the grid, had an altercation, and ended up down round about 12th or 13th. And he's clawed his way back at the moment. 8 laps on the current tyres. And I'm sure he's going to look for a higher position. I'm sure he wants to be at least on the podium this evening. So let's see where he's going to end up at the moment. But let me tell you, you got Nesmax, you got Weza, definitely looking to keep those positions there, as well as XCI Dan. They're not going to be wanting to give up those that place on the podium this evening. They want to make sure they end up as 1, 2, and 3.
So the one thing I just wanted to mention quickly is that XCI Dan is actually closing on Weza. He's now dropped that gap down to 1.4 seconds. He was sitting just over 2 seconds just before the end of the last lap. So he's starting to put in those points of the second for every lap, and he's really starting to close him up now.
Yeah, I think I've just seen another record lap from Dan, and that's probably the 6th one in a row at the moment. Steph, tell me, how's things happening on the stream there? Are we seeing some movement?
Not much. A lot of support coming through from Fusoko. I think Dylan was raised up the cheerleaders there, shouting Sako, Sako, Sako.
I'll pay them for that, Steph.
Absolutely, good idea. As things stand, I've got the points up at the moment. SAAOLR 13 on 39 points if it ends like this. TMB with 37 points if it ends like this.
So there we go. There, a little bit of an update from Staff at the moment. He's watching, keeping an eye on the stream at the moment, making sure he's interacting with you guys.
He's in 1 second, coming onto the back straight. He's going to have the DRS available for him. So he's now in that zone. You can see how quickly that time is now closing between himself and Weza. Down to 0.4, 0.5 of a second.
On both of them at the moment. So let me see if I can get on board with him. We're on board with Dan at the moment now, just to see where he is.
So still in the DRS, you're going to see that he'll definitely close this gap up. Coming into the first corner. Will you have a look on the inside? Yes, he does. That was a great move. Now, Weza, whoa, just almost losing the rear there.
Obviously pushing it. Let's jump back to Weza at the moment.
See how he's now pulling away.
Definitely pulling away. Now Dan's actually one of our international drivers. He's based in the Netherlands, does a lot of driving in league driving in the Netherlands, and then great to have him on the South African Academy online racing team. So that's fantastic from that point of view. Then obviously we have Weza as well. Does a lot of driving around Twitch, also racing for the South African Academy Online Racing. So that's great stuff from them. 1 and 2 at the moment. And then Nesmax right at the top. There is an incident in Sector 2. I don't know if you can pick that up, Dylan, what that is.
Yeah, so it looked like we actually got Vino Farrell and Ronald actually having a battle, and we've got Thomas, who's actually being lapped. He seemed to have just got himself in the way there.
There's going to be lots of tongue lashing, probably over the mic system about that one. He's got himself out of the way now, Thomas has.
Out of the way, yeah. But now what's happened is it's actually allowed Ronald, it's actually forced Ronald to drop back because he was starting to close up on Vino Farrell. Thanks very much for the support there, Bruno. I'm sure you can hear that I'm actually in the commentary box. Unfortunately, my start of the race did not go according to plan.
So the guys are coming now. They're being eaten up by, the back markers are being eaten up by this current group at the moment. And let's just quickly have a look.
Looking at the times, we've got Vino Farrell, or sorry, was he starting to put a lot of pressure on the back of Iboucha.
Yeah, I'm on board with him now. It looks as though he's going around on the outside.
On the outside, whoa! Great defensive driving there. Oh, I'm not sure if they touched.
I didn't look at from this side.
Managed to make that move. It did look like that the Wazzy's front right wheel. It did touch the inside, the side air scoop. Oh, he's onto the grass. That could have been very disastrous.
Doesn't look as though there's any damage to the car, so that's a good thing. Push up to Iceman. He's basically from Sim Stuff Racing. As I mentioned, new team. Iceman not too fickled at the moment. Seems to be doing a nice job seating himself in that 5th position. His partner, though, is down in 12th position. So his teammate is down in 12th position at the moment. And then you've got Tokis in 14th. And then you have... Thomas in 16. Yep. So, but I'm sure he'll be back. I mean, he's quite a competitive character, and I'm sure he's going to be wanting to try it again. What time, when does your season start again, Dylan?
So in not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday, we will be getting going with the E90 320 BMW, the touring car. We'll lock that into no settings, and then the following week is the big one, the open tuning, open class LMP2s, where we'll be in the Ligiers.
And any news on the new sponsor that you guys have managed to secure?
So those final discussions will happen tomorrow, when I'll be able to make all the final notifications, and everything will go live on the website.
Ah, that's good stuff.
Savvy, it seems your live stream has gone dead.
Oh my goodness, has it?
Chatting is still there, but the live stream is offline, it says.
I'll just restart it. Looks as though Nesmax, unfortunately, we nearly missed that. Hopefully the stream has started again, because at the moment here it comes it is definitely going to be Nesmax who's going to take this championship, followed by Dan at the moment, as well as Weza. If there's been no penalties, here we come through to start and finish at the moment. It looks as though this race. Oh, we're in lap number 28 now.
One more lap.
One more lap. Thank goodness for that, because I was just going down to the live stream because I thought I had lost it. But I don't know. Is it still doing it? Has the live stream started up again?
Yes, it has.
The stream is going, yep.
Okay, because I was a little bit worried there. I had to just do some quite big maneuvering going on. Just listening to obviously what Dylan was saying. Obviously their season starting off, and obviously an announcement of a new sponsor that SAAOLR has got on board with them. So that's great stuff for them, and we do have lots of fun with the guys and the SAAOLR racing on Project Cars too. Dylan, also great to have you guys join us. I know that we've got a couple of members, yourself and obviously Marius, very keen Project Car 2 drivers, and it's great to have you on board with us as well here at the F1 South African Academy Online Racing, and joining the championship, the club championships, which is also great news for us.
I must say I'm extremely proud of Morris that this is his first time he's actually picked up a F1 game in the last 15 years, and here he's come and put himself in the top 10.
Brilliant. So we're almost done here this evening, and here we are looking at the final session. You can see Dan is so close, trying to get past. Does he do it? Oh, he's got to watch himself. Oh my goodness, that was unbelievable. They were so close. Nesmax, I don't even think he knew that obviously Dan was right there on his tail, just about to take him. And that was unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable.
0.192 of a second at the line.
Woo! If that's not close, I don't know what is. I think Nesmax didn't realize that in actual fact Dan was so close behind him, because he started swerving.
I think it was the back marker that might have just distracted him. So he was watching the back marker and not seeing Dan come up from behind.
Wow. So there we go. As you can see, the results happening at the moment. 28 laps done. Let me just give you some news going forward. We've got Nesmax, we've got XCI Dan, we've got Weza, and obviously we've got Devet, should I say, in 4th position. Iceman in 5th. 6th position is Weza. Boucher, Hugh Boucher. Then we got Vino for real. We got Ronald LaRue. And then we got Marius in 10th position. So those are your top 10. They are in the points. Just coming out of the points at the moment is Springbok Gamer. And let's have a look at that final result at the moment. On board with Nesmax, winning the first club championship here in China. Great to see that. There you go, the new colors for Nesmax at the moment. There we go. You have two guys in the Alfa Romeo gears there, but let's not take anything away from this gentleman. You've just seen him raise the trophy here in China, Shanghai, and that's Nesmax, also one of our international drivers based in Qatar, and it's always good to have him with us here at the South African Academy Online Racing. So guys, it's been an absolute treat watching such a close drive right towards the end, and you can see how close it was if you look at that time there. Fastest lap at the moment was done and held by I'm sure it was definitely Dan. I'm sure he had the fastest lap, so that was definitely something to watch there. Always great to see that. A little bit of the incidents and obviously who filled up with what. And I can tell you now, great to see these guys racing. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing all of this to you this Sunday evening. And we'll see you next week Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. Come and watch the club championships here on the South African Academy Online Racing. Don't forget, Tuesday night, midway racing happening, as well as Friday. or Thursday, shall I say. We've also got some things to watch out for there, because that's definitely going to be SAAOLR racing, and then obviously back to Sunday here again to watch the South African Academy Online Racing. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you all the greatness of this team event. And thanks, Steph, for your support this evening. It's been great having you on board with us, and it's been an absolute pleasure sitting in the box with you this evening.
Cheers, Sandy.
Thanks. Let's say goodnight. Good night.